Stop reaching out to people that haven't been in the gym. We've all said it, we've all been there, and we've all been wrong about our approach to those people who aren't our people that we want in the gym. Let's reframe that for a second. No, you can't and you don't want everyone to buy your service. But there are people that you are losing because you don't understand the different types of customers. And if you understand that people naturally fall into these types due to no fault of their own, you'll be able to create more lovers than you have haters. And let's be honest, we all know how good it feels to have a member post a raving review on Google. I'm gonna walk you through the 5 types of customers in any given market. And I'm gonna teach you exactly how to interact with each one of them in order to create an army of ambassadors. Before we talk about turning those loudmouth haters into 5-stage clingers,
there you are.
We first need to define each one of them so you can identify them correctly. Knowing who you're dealing with allows you to deploy the right strategies for each person. Listen, we don't just hand Grandma Jenny a 95-pound barbell to do brace. I mean, maybe we could, but you get the point. We have to meet people where they are, and knowing that gives us a shot at converting them. Now, before we dive in, first know that all of these people could be either your current customers or potential customers. So it doesn't just apply to leads. Let's start with the cynic. What we have to understand about the cynic is that they are irrationally negative. They're just hating to hate. They drink haterade for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and they sprinkle hate sauce on their protein. They are the worst type of customer because they are vocal, highly irrational, and louder than everyone else. You can have 100 5-star reviews, but everyone sees that 1-star review written by a psychomaniac like they're on their first 2 weeks of dieting with no carbs. You can't convert these people, but you also can't ignore them. We're gonna come back to these people because they're some of the most important ones to interact with. Next up is the skeptic. The important thing about this group is that while they are skeptical, they are open to influence. They'll consider buying your service, but they don't have time for nonsense, sleazy tactics, or having their time wasted. They'll swipe left on your Tinder profile faster than your members cherry pick the 5K you keep trying to program. The right approach gets this group to lean in, like you when you're trying to find out if you made the top 100,000 on the leaderboard at the CrossFit Open.
I feel shocked.
Above the skeptic is the prospect. The prospect is an educated buyer. They have a short list. They've sized you up against the other gym that's closest to them. They've tried to compare prices, and they know that you have a dirty bathroom while the other gym has a sauna.
I've got my eye on you, Jay Quellen.
They have a full consideration list, and they're as eager as a gym owner at a rogue Black Friday sale. You just have to know how to outplay the other options on their list. Next up is the buyer. This one is pretty obvious, and this person has made up their mind. They are buying from someone on the short list. This is the vast majority of people who fill out a form on your website. Most box owners are fooled into thinking that they are good at sales because most people who walk into their door fall into this category.
This is a damn trap.
As long as you don't take a dump in the middle of the floor when they come in,
it's time for a new solution to waste in the workplace.
They're likely to buy. And lastly, we have the mythical ambassador. The magical member who buys every shirt you sell, shows up early to the social event and leaves late, and tells you that you are the greatest programmer in the universe. These people do exist.
He does exist!
They do exist.
Oh yes, they do, and I'm going to show you how to get more of them. Okay, so now you know the different types of customers that you're gonna be interacting with. And before we talk about moving them up the ladder, we have to talk about the 2 important variables that applies to absolutely all of them. Number 1, gravity applies to everybody. They are constantly being pulled down the ladder by distractions, personal woes, other people, and everything else flying around in their orbit. And number 2, you must always be pulling them up. No customer sits in a spot forever. They're either being pulled up by you or being pulled down by the depths of the dreaded cynic. You have to build in the systems to constantly pull them up the ladder to becoming an ambassador. Now we know you can't sell the cynic, but I'm gonna come back to that group. So let's start with the skeptic. Moving the skeptic to a prospect. To move the skeptic up to prospect, we have to differentiate. We have to show them how they're gonna get better results, how we're more convenient, or how we have more air runners than anyone else. This is where value adds inside of your service like 24-hour access or something like showers and towel service come into play. If you value stack like I discussed in this video, you can make the top of the list when they move to be a prospect. Now, moving from the prospect to the buyer. Where most people make a mistake with the prospect is treating them like the skeptic. If you're trying to differentiate yourself to a prospect, you are pushing them back down the ladder. What you have to do with the prospect is you have to make the ask. You have to sell them. This group is in the value for money stage. They just want you to pitch the offer. They want to know, what value do I get for my money?
Tell them to bring me my money.
So for this group, we take our value stack offer and we make the ask, ensuring that we're addressing their problems with solutions. Next, turning the buyer into an ambassador. Now you have a buyer. This can be someone buying your service for the first time or a recurring member. This next part is integral to your overall success in virtually any business. Once you have a buyer, your only focus is to deliver excellence. Make them feel like they are your #1 client.
I am your biggest fan.
Reach out when they hit a PR, send birthday cards, make social media posts about them. Your job is to make them the hero of their own story. Making your clients the hero is how you create a factory of ambassadors who are as loyal as Brown fans. Can you imagine never winning and still having people love you? But seriously, this is where making sure that your service, which is your group class, is something that people absolutely love, because the coaches tend to their needs, help them get fit, and make it fun while doing it all. And make no mistake, that takes work. Now, I've left out one part. How do you take the cynic and move them up to be an ambassador? Before I answer that question, I have one question for you. Why can't you get those people who have fallen off to come back into the gym? Why does that almost always result in a cancellation? Here's why. That person has slid all the way down the ladder to become a cynic. Stop for a second, because this isn't about you. I know what you're thinking. What did I do? They didn't show up. When someone is a cynic, sometimes they are a cynic of themselves. That is what happened here. They are no longer the hero of their own story. They fell off, and now they are their own villain.
You are a bad guy, but this does not mean you're a bad guy.
Every gym owner since the age of the Smith machine has tried to convert the cynic. The reason you can't pull these people back in is because only the ambassador can convert the cynic. We have to use those heroes that we've created to go rescue the people from becoming their own permanent villains. This is why every gym owner dreads sending that email or that text. Hey, just checking in to see how things were going, to see if we can get you back in. Because deep down in our paleo guts, we know that we cannot get them to come back. This is why we help affiliate owners build their ambassador programs. We use the ambassadors as an extension of us and our staff, and give them all of the fun work with none of the dirty jobs. We can have them reach out to those people who have fallen off and are sliding back down the ladder. Their job is not to sell. It's only to do what they do best. Connect with people and build them back up. And this is how you turn haters into brand ambassadors. You can use this process to help build a stronger and healthier community. If you want to learn more about Affiliate University and our process for building an ambassador program, click the link somewhere around this video and set up a call. We will walk you through the whole thing. I'll talk to you soon.